Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead and East Fork Christmas Tree Farms. I'm not going to be showing you how I'm doing anything today, but just a few notes about what's happening to trees here in the Pacific Northwest and weather and what's going on there. I'm out in the field today. It's a little bit wet and rainy, but I had some time off during daylight hours, and I'm hedge trimming the big fat bushy trees that didn't sell back into shape, and I'm going to be checking out our acres of young trees. And if I got any leaders that are going too long or whatnot, I'm going to cut those. And the reason I'm doing this type of thing now is, we should have had a lot of this done, but if we didn't get it done, we don't want to forget about it for the next couple months. And then in April and May, when everything's really growing out, we want to make sure everything's in the right shape and we've got the right buds exposed to go ahead and grow. So I'm out here just trying to get the trees in a proper position, proper shape to start growing again and to grow in the best case scenario. And again, if you've been following the channel, we're still short on trees for a couple more years till we can meet the demand that we have from our customers. So it's even more important for Barry and myself to get out here and to really get everything in order and ready to go. You know, when you have tons of trees and you have excess of trees, if they're not all in the best possible shape, you can afford to lose one or two. But when you're as short as we are, you can see most of my field over here is smaller trees. The older ones are picked through. Same thing over here, and if we walk through the whole field, it would be that way. So I need money out of all these trees, or a super high percentage of these trees, so we're getting them in shape. Another thing, talking about weather and how it affects it, it's a El Nino year, so it's a little bit warmer, and it's been a really warm winter for most of the winter, and then we had some of the worst, coldest ice storms and whatnot out here the last week. And so we went from the warmest winter to one of our more extreme events, the type of event we expect once every 5 or 6 years type thing. So it's really cold. And I just had lunch with my son at a pizza place, and I ran into Bruce from Lewis River Reforestation. I've done videos on how his farm grows millions of seedlings every year for different Christmas tree farms and reforestation. And I was like, hey, how'd your seedlings do? Because those little tiny trees that are out in the field have a little bit harder time. And I know that what they do is if it's going to be well below freezing, is they turn on all their sprinklers and get all the field wet and encase the small trees in ice. And so that helps protect them from the cold. I know everybody thinks ice is cold, but usually it starts freezing at 32 degrees and actually keeps it warmer than the 12, 13, 14 degrees, whatever it was out there that week. But he said the wind was blowing so hard and he was trying to do it, and it kept blowing it back on the sprinklers, and all the sprinkler heads were icing over. And they were out there in the middle of the night breaking ice off of the sprinkler heads, 14-degree weather, windy. And he said, we were just an icicle ourselves. It froze on us, the freezing on the sprinklers. And so they lost the battle of keeping the sprinklers going. So I asked him how his trees did. And he said, it's hard to tell yet. We'll have to wait a couple weeks. But he said, well, we're already seeing yellowing tops. So usually the whole tree doesn't die. When we get ice like that and you've got those seedlings in the ground that are 6 inches to 16 inches, the leader is the one that gets damaged the most, and quite often it'll die out, and then you get multiple leads coming the next year. So it's not something you want to have happen. So I hope for their case and for those of us that want new trees that they didn't get damaged too much. But you don't always get to just say, hey, this is the type of weather I want, can I please have it? Just like working out in the field today, I think you could tell I'm probably getting a little bit wet right here, but that's natural here. Like I said, it's been pretty warm. We're in the 40s right now, so it's not cold at all for January. But it has rained and it has rained and it has rained, except for last week when it was snow and ice. Anyway, that's just an update on the farm, how things are going with the weather, how weather can affect you, and just keeping in touch with the people that are learning Christmas tree farming. Thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching, including horticulture, is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Hope to see you again soon. Be blessed, everyone.